Hey everyone. Today we're solving a broken access control problem from the OS category. We've talked about it. Trying to differentiate how this is different from like insecure design of the identification authentication failures. But just a quick rundown because they can be confusing and get confused a lot. So basically, identification authentic failures. Think of it as when the system fails to verify who you are. For example, you're able to bypass login due to a weak session tokens, which we've seen in one of the CTI problems. Insecure design. The system trusts something the users can tamper with because of poor design decisions, which is something we saw in one of the CTF problems that we worked on. And then lastly, broken access control, which is the basis of this one, where protection exists, but attackers can bypass them to access restricted areas. And in here, we're gonna bypass access restrictions by using a secret key in a query parameter. So yeah, let's get started. So where we start out, if you can look at the hints, we already get from the get go. We're trying to be confused. I'm trying to confuse the CTFer. Um, maybe they'll be looking around to see if there's a hidden button with the flag or something around. That's not the case. So a very good hint is to decode the key. The key that we'll be needing to modify, for example, the URL or figure out a query or something to try to get it out. So, what type of encoding is this? Usually, a safe bet is to go with base64 encoding just from the get go. It's what I use for this flag and for many of my flags. I really like it. It's simple and intuitive to understand, but sometimes can be mixed uh, with different algorithms. So let's decode this. And we see that what we have to do, we get a result. It tells us the key we need to unlock access. So let's go here. And then in the console, there's another hint. Maybe this hash will also come in handy. And this looks like an MD5 hash. Um, might be right, might be wrong. Again, this is my flag, so yeah, it is an MD5 hash. So from that, we know that somewhere in the URL we'll have little query. Of course, I was already testing it. Where it's secret key, right? You'll have a secret key. And where the app checks the query parameter key, and if it matches secret key, it grants us access to the restricted page. So something else we'd have to do is decode this MD5 encryption, which you can simply upload an MD5 decoder and it'll do it for you. But since I already have the flag up here, well, what it decodes is, if you can see here, when you decode that hint in the console, you get ETM skibidi toilet wrist HTML, and then here goes the key equals secret key, which is what we got from the first hint that we looked at. So here, it's broken access control flaw because the server relies on a weak predictable key instead of proper access controls. And we figured out the predictable key. So if we go there, you can see that we get the actual flag through broken access control.
No, God! No, God, please, no! No!
But yeah, that highlights the broken access control. It Okay, we don't want to play that. Yeah, so it demonstrates broken access control because the app allowed access to a restricted page, which was this page, simply by having a hard-coded key. Instead of enforcing proper authorization, the server relied on a query parameter that anyone can guess or decode, which is what we did here. We were able to actually decode it through the hints. Sure, if we didn't have the hints, sure, it would have been more difficult, but at the end of the day, the vulnerability is still there. Um, and yeah, this is broken access control and an example of it in a pretty decent flag, in my opinion, where it shows us why it's important to never rely on client-side inputs like query parameters for access control. But yeah, thank you.